Imagine waking up before dawn. Not in a grand palace of gold, but in a frozen field, your hands cracked from labor you'll never be paid for. Now imagine another dawn, where chandeliers glitter, violins play, and servants bow as you sip imported wine. This was 1700s Russia, a land where two worlds existed side by side, but never truly touched, where one class lived like gods and the other like ghosts. Tonight, we pull back the curtain to uncover what life was really like between the serfs and the nobles of Imperial Russia. The 18th century was an age of power for Russia. Tsars like Peter the Great and Catherine the Great dragged the empire into modernity, conquering lands, reforming armies, and importing Western culture. But behind the glory lay the backbone of it all, the serfs. Men, women, and children bound to the land, not by loyalty, but by law. Serfs weren't merely poor farmers, they were property, bought, sold, and punished at the whim of the nobility. For every noble's ballroom, there were thousands of unseen peasants keeping the empire alive. One field, one back, one life at a time. While the serfs toiled, the Russian aristocracy lived in staggering luxury. In cities like St. Petersburg, nobles entertained European philosophers, staged French plays, and imported Parisian fashion. They spoke French more fluently than Russian, seeing their own people as barbaric. Their estates were massive, with entire villages of serfs working for a single family. To many nobles, this wasn't cruelty, it was normalcy. They saw themselves as caretakers, ordained by God to rule over lesser people. And yet, even among the elite, fear lingered. Because beneath the snow and silence, unrest was growing. A serf's life began and ended on the same estate. Most were born in wooden huts shared with livestock, surviving on rye bread, cabbage soup, and faith. Education was a dream, freedom a myth. Marriage required a landlord's permission. Leaving the estate was forbidden. If a noble sold land, the serfs came with it, like furniture. Punishments were brutal: whippings, branding, exile to Siberia, all legal. And yet, they endured, through songs, faith, and the faint hope that one day something or someone might change their fate. By the mid-18th century, whispers of rebellion began to echo. In 1773, Emelian Pugachev, a Cossack pretender claiming to be the dead Tsar Peter III, ignited one of the largest peasant revolts in Russian history. Entire villages rose against their masters, burning estates, killing nobles, seizing land. But Catherine the Great crushed the uprising with merciless force. Tens of thousands were executed. The dream of freedom silenced. Still, the cracks had formed, and those cracks would one day split the empire apart. The divide between serf and noble lasted until 1861, when Tsar Alexander II finally abolished serfdom. But the scars ran deep. Generations of oppression had left behind bitterness, a wound that would bleed into revolutions, wars, and the very soul of Russia itself. In the 18th century, Russia looked magnificent from the outside, a land of cathedrals and kings. But beneath that glittering surface lay a truth written in frost and blood. An empire built not by the hands of the powerful, but by those who were never free. Two worlds, one empire, one living for glory, the other for survival. And when those worlds finally collided, Russia would never be the same again.